I'm noticing already with the OG is with all the knee volume, it really likes an overly long straight shaft paddle. So this is going to be an interesting experiment going again from straight shaft to bent shaft. I'm guessing this won't be as nice.
Hey guys, my name's Alex Barham. This is going to be a review of the Waka OG. If you go straight to Waka's website, you know, the stated purpose of this boat is to be a higher performance OG tuna OG. So, does it really paddle like that? Well, the boat that I just kept coming back around and around and around to when it came to what is the OG like is it's like a large Mockno. There's a lot of reasons for that. Specs, general performance, the way it paddles. But yeah, if you can't get access to one of these, you want to know what it feels like. It feels most similar to a Mockno, but it is definitely a different flavor of that. This boat is incredibly good in bigger flow situations. It wants to slice like a knife through current, charge down lines. It has huge, just explosive boofs and landings, rockets up out. It is a just great boat to paddle. There's no question about it. There's none. If you're the right size for this boat, it is a joy to paddle. Right off the bat, getting into one of these boats, I think that most people are gonna find that it is big. I was there the day that my buddy got one of the first that came into the country, and he was immediately shocked by how big it was and was kind of surprised to realize that although it's quite large, he was able to handle it just fine when he usually paddles a medium. Why is that? Well, you have really aggressive, really just good outfitting inside that boat. So first of all, you are super planted. So you're coming from a place of confidence with the outfitting, but then the chines right underneath the paddler are also quite aggressive. They really allow you to make minute little carves in and out of features and hit your line with pretty pinpoint precision. This all, though, relies on forward speed. So while this boat is super intuitive to paddle, does everything the exact way that you expect it to with a super high level of performance, if you are a dib-dabber, little tiptoer kind of boater, it will take all of that and just smash you. You'll notice right off the bat with the profile of this boat that there's more volume in the knees in front of the paddler than behind the paddler. So that means that coming slowly into something, it's very easy for the river to overpower you and just throw the bow to the left or right. And these chines are not doing you any good if they're not in motion. So definitely this is a boat for an aggressive paddler that will help you just bring things to another level. That said, you're gonna need to be somewhat of a bigger dude. You can make it work if you usually paddle a medium, but you don't want to be on the bottom of the suggested weight range for this boat just because it's a lot of boat and a lot of chine, and it'll totally spank you. In the same way that we mentioned that the bow of this boat is quite wide, the stern tapers in every direction with a flare of kick rocker. So what does that all do? It makes those leaning, pulling over the top boofs very easy. This boat loves to be put on edge, take a huge leaning boof stroke, and smash into stuff. It absolutely does that really well, and combined with those super strong chines. It also allows this larger profile boat to skip some boofs just flat very nicely because your tail is kicking away. Kind of feels like a bigger Alpha 90 in that way. Was there anything I didn't like about it? Well, in terms of how the boat paddles, not a lot. It's not necessarily as technical as some other creek boats that are out there. It's definitely geared towards big, pushy water. I would not recommend this for low volume creeking. Flat bottom boats generally just aren't the good thing for that. And with these chines, it's really not just gonna work out in your favor. This thing does boof like an absolute champ, but you really need to dial in the lean boof to kick your bow down. Landing dead flat on this thing can be very painful. Just make sure that you're stomping down. Otherwise, there's that enormous planing haul and it comes to a very jolting stop at the bottom of a drop. Other than that, this boat, again, just performs wonderfully. When it comes to what this boat is like, it honestly feels like the future. I think that we're gonna see a lot more boats that are kind of close to the OG. I'm not saying that boat makers are gonna rip off the OG. I'm just saying that I think there are a lot of concepts that really worked out here, and that in general, this boat is just ahead of the curve on where we're already going organically. It is just fantastic in the water. It really is. It's hard to explain. It holds its line, it boofs like a champ from pretty much any orientation. It is just a fantastic boat. So this video is gonna be released in tandem with another video just walking through Waka's outfitting. The reason I'm doing that is because there are really no photos on their website or any resource I could find that gave any good information in terms of what's inside these things. So I took this one apart, showed you the good, the bad, the ugly, but definitely watch that before you buy one of these. The single biggest thing is that this is a super high performance creek boat. They're expecting the sport to be pushed in this boat. This boat is in the hands of some of the best paddlers in the world. That means that basically everyone wants to get it and everyone wants to run the shit in it. Well, here's the thing. That grab loop's plastic, like literally plastic. And if you're gonna introduce a new safety feature into a boat, I'm all for it. If it's lighter, it's better, that's great. But we need data. You gotta prove it. That's all. I mean, if it was a piece of climbing gear, that's what we would do. If it was anything else, it was airbags in a car, that's what we would do. So watch that video, get a look inside, but I know you guys are gonna watch this. I know you're gonna be pissed off at me. I have to say something. So yeah, the Waka OG, it's absolutely fantastic if you can get one. I was super happy to paddle this boat. Excited to paddle the Steez soon, hopefully. But I would really strongly suggest keeping it to big water. In big water, hard point's not gonna matter. Foot block that your feet can get around, don't really matter. But if you were to piton or pin in this boat, it's really not gonna take care of you the way that boats from other manufacturers do. That's not an opinion, that's just objectively true. So yeah, hopefully this is something that they improve over the next couple of years, but it's really something to consider before you take this out there. I didn't let it stop me from running anything, but there's no question that it was in my mind as I rolled up to the lip of things where things could go badly.